What's happening? Dogs don't know how to act without Apollo back here. Everybody's role is a little bit different, and they all trying to figure it out. That's the cool thing about pack dogs is it's like you remove one, and Gray and Summer never played like this really for real. For real, Summer is more so telling Gray he don't want to play, and Gray, who has a ton of energy, is just gonna make him do it anyway. And that you really don't have usually don't have that dynamic when Apollo's out here because she'll play with Gray. She'll kind of get all the energy out, and she'll check Gray. She'll check Gray in ways that Summer don't really do. Because I don't really let Summer check Gray, but um, you see like in the fight that they just had, or the little jumping up and all the stuff that they were just doing. That Summer is, he's a good communicator with her without having to really shake her up or hurt her. Gray out, Gray out. But yeah, ever since Apollo is nursing her puppies right now, so the dog's on the yard going through it, trying to figure out who's who. Grace trying to figure out, how do I burn this energy when I'm back here? Because someone ain't wanting to play with her for real. I mean, he'll chase her, he'll kind of wrestle with her, but someone wants to end that shit fast. And Moon is the same way. Moon wants to end it pretty fast too. She'll play and she'll run, but those two are a little bit more serious. Whereas Apollo will actually engage and play, and then if Gray gets too scrappy, then Apollo's with that too. She'll shake her up and without really hurting her. Out. Yeah, that's one of the interesting things about having pack dogs. I know you see a lot of people who have someone out, who have a bunch of dogs, but they don't have them in a pack. No, they don't have them in a pack, and the behaviors are different inside the pack than just like if I were to take them. Gray out. My bad, y'all. The behaviors are different than if I were to just take them around strange dogs. None of my dogs will submit to a strange dog, but Gray will kind of submit to Soma and Apollo to an extent. Um, I mean, she'll fight them back if it got serious, but for the most part, she'll submit to them. And someone's more patient than with them than he'd be with any other dog. Someone out. I'm trying to pick up the little pieces of mulch. We had a storm and it blew mulch into the Gray. No, I usually don't mind them doing that, but they were starting to shit that stuff out the other day, and I think, okay, y'all swallowing, y'all can't do that no more. But yeah, I mean, that's the one difference that I hope that people notice in my dogs, than in most working dogs that you're gonna find online. I mean, sure you can find some non-working dogs where you can have them out like that, but the one cool thing about my dogs is I can still have them in a pack situation, and they be as efficient alone as any other any other breed of dog that you can't really have in a pack like mine. It makes it fun, and I could learn a lot more just about the nature of the actual dogs. Gray out. Gray no. So Gray's getting better at understanding that. Before I have to tell Gray no 1,000 times. I have to go out there and get it. But now I mean, she'll go back to it. She's gonna go back to it. But she understands that when I say out no, you know what I'm saying, once, twice to leave it alone, she's gonna check and see if I'm paying attention. But again, if I stay consistent, then she'll understand. By the time next year when she's hey no Gray, by the time she's like someone I don't have to do all that with, and she's getting better. But this is and the training that I'm doing right there is just my mouth. There's no collar on her. There's no her negative marker. No, we've gotten so good at her understanding that that's all it takes really. It don't take a whole lot more with her. Again, I gotta be consistent. I gotta catch her doing it and stuff like that. But I could take a shortcut and use a remote collar, and trust me, I will if I really needed to. But now that we got a good foundation down, I don't really need to anymore. They know what's up. Moon. Yeah, that's a cool thing about these dogs. That's my favorite thing is that I can have them in a pack. One thing that's worked for me, for people who ask how I've gotten them that way, one thing that always worked for me, I learned. Gray out. Well, I learned early with Moon is that if Moon was out hunting, out working or something like that, she could tolerate the other dogs around her. Um, she could take cues from them. She, all that kind of stuff, or they could take cues from her, and she would allow it. She wouldn't allow no like playing with her, like they couldn't jump on her or celebrate with her or nothing like that. But she would work with them if we were out working. So one thing that I've always done is like, okay, if I want to introduce Moon to a new dog, I will take it out on a hike with us, or a walk, a good long walk, or kind of like speed that process up. Take the new dog on a walk. Take the new dogs on a walk. I ain't talking about no, you know what I'm saying? If you got a 3-year-old pit bull or some shit like that, you know what I'm saying, and you want to try that with another 3-year-old pit bull, I'm not saying that. But if you got a dog that you think might be capable of someone out, then a good way, no, someone, no, a good way, hey, no, a good way is to have them be active together, not in a way where they can compete, not no tug of war or no shit like that. I wouldn't even have them chase a ball because they would compete over that ball. No, great, out, great, no. They would compete over that ball, but just like no, Soma, just like a good run, a good hike, something like that. Um, that's always worked for me. I know that when Soma and Apollo's puppies get a little bit older and they come out to the yard, Soma's going to be kind of like "Grr" at them at first. Gray, no, Gray. Um, but I already have a plan. I know we're just gonna go for a hike. I'm gonna put them on the ground. They're gonna follow us. Someone's gonna no. That'll give someone enough distance to kind of like get to smell them, see them, give them enough distance. You know what I mean? And by the time we get back home, we do that 2 or 3 times. By the time we get back home, they're normally pretty good. They have an understanding of his place, and he has an understanding of who or what they are. Now, someone's older than he was the last time he saw a little puppy, so I'm gonna hope that he also remembers that and understands what I want from him. But we're still I'm gonna get them out. I'm gonna take them on walks. You know what I'm saying? I'll put the puppies in. I have this wagon. I'll put them in, and someone will walk with them and get to smell them and understand how I want him to respond, how I want him to behave around them. And we'll come back, let them run around the yard. I'm also gonna put them in the kennel when they're about 4 weeks. They're gonna spend about an hour and a half a day out here with them in the kennel, maybe a little bit longer, but it'll be August, so we'll see. It's pretty hot here in August. Gray, no, Gray, fuck you up. Down, Gray, down, Gray, down. What's wrong with you? Yeah, I just want to get them out real quick, let y'all check them out, see what's been going on, how the yard's been holding up since Apollo's been in the house. Like I said, you don't really know how much one dog plays a role on your yard until you remove that dog. Like I said, she's only in the house, but it's made a big difference out here on the yard. Her not being out here, these two don't know how to act. Great, no, down, down. Yeah, these two don't know how to act without her. Summer's fine. Summer would just chill. He don't care as long as I'm back here. But Gray don't know what to do. She don't have no playmate. She ain't got nobody to chase her. She ain't got nobody to play fight with. And Summer's annoyed. He's like, "Yo, come get your dog, bro." But like I said, that's the cool thing about having pack dogs. I get to learn so much. I get to see so much about them. Gray, out, out, no, out. I'll fuck you up. Down. Gray is a lot. Gray, no. Gray is like she's not a super. I wouldn't say she's as independent of a dog. Gray, no. She's as independent of a dog as Apollo. No. And Apollo, like I said, she's gotten way better at that over the last few months. You know, but Gray is nonstop doing some shit all the time. And again, she's only a year old. I don't really judge a dog too much until they're about 2 years old. But you know, Gray would be a tough one for anybody other than me, unless you're going to put a remote collar on her and not have four other dogs, and you know what I'm saying, all that. But I love her though. She's dope, and she's gonna do dope things for. She's gonna do dope things for the future of the breed. Yeah, she's fire. But all right, y'all. We'll get with y'all next time. Get back to the pack.